Hey, Shawnee from SpeedCubeReview.com. I've had quite a bit of time to use the 57mm Gan 16 Max L and compare it to the Gan 16 Max as well as the v100 because these are 57, 56, and 55 millimeters. Performance-wise, they're similar. Let's just start with that. As far as performance goes, clearly these two are very similar. For the v100, I'm more used to that and I feel more comfortable with that. But as far as corner cutting and catching and things like that, they're about the same. Now I find that I do get little tiny catches on these that I don't normally get on other cubes, especially the Waylong or WRM. But I mean, clearly that's not the case for all cubers. And my belief of why that is that these require really light touch because they will align themselves and line up. But I'm so used to heavier puzzles, I'm used to really pushing through things. So I'm not letting it do its own thing. I'm kind of pushing through stuff, and that's my assumption of the cost of it. I'm going to put some solves in here so you can see back to back, very similar. Had very similar good solves, very similar bad solves. So no huge difference there. I just want to check size on all of these. We have 56.99, so pretty much exactly 57 if we're rounding. This one is 56.20, so a little bit larger than 56. And here we have 54.46. While they say 57, 56, and 55, it's not exactly like that. And we can see that here too. So if I line these up as much as possible, I notice that the v100 does feel quite a bit smaller compared to the Gan 16 as the Gan 16 did from the MaxL 16. Let's look at these pieces. So if we're looking at the two Gan 16s, they are pretty much identical, with the difference being that this lip is a little bit thicker. When we go to the v100, there are no edge magnets, so that is empty there. And again, this is thinned out here compared to that. So the main difference besides the edge magnet is that this part is thinned out on each one and most thick there. Same thing for the corners. Now you can swap out the magnets of the corners for the two Gan 16s. You cannot on the v100. Those ones are the regular ones, and as far as I can tell, they don't come out. This is spinning in here and I can't get that out of there. The other thing you might notice is that we can see the magnets much more clearly. These you can see because they're under the plastic, but you can see the magnets on the v100 and they're in a different place. Gan likes to put really small magnets at the ends of the corners, so you get much more of a snappy feel to it. These are more traditional in the sense of when we started with magnets, we tend to put them almost as low as we could go because then instead of being clicky, it just has a more rigid feel to it. That's not the right word, but it feels more stable. There we go. And I'm used to that feeling, so I do like that feeling. But other than that, a lot of this is the same type of setup. As far as the core, we have that clear core there. It's going to be the same here, and it looks pretty much the same here. Even though there are magnets in the edges, we only have 8 magnets in all of these cores. There are not 20 magnets there. The edges just repel the corner magnets as they go around. Now this works on all of these, so the centers are pretty much the same on all of them. So as far as thickness goes, that's not really changing anything. But these all have the same core. So settings on all of these can be the same as far as that goes. And there's one more thing we'll test before I get to the main difference between them. We have the MaxL at 68.3 grams, the Max at 66 grams, and the v100 at 64.5. I was expecting the magnetic capsules to add a bit of weight, but surprisingly this one is still the lightest. Okay, the biggest difference between them is the weight distribution and the sound. So these both feel much lighter than this does. And that could be because there's weight more on the outside. It doesn't seem like a lot, but 1.5 millimeter difference, 2.5 millimeter difference? Yeah, 2.5 millimeter difference between this and this one really moves a lot of weight to that outside, especially since the magnets are farther out and the end plastic is. So that makes a difference, and I can feel that between this and this. But the big thing is that sound, and makes a big difference for me. Now, if I put on headphones, I can't really hear it, but just listen to this. Why did I do it 10 times? The MaxL has more space in the pieces, and so we don't get as muted of a sound. I really like that quieter, muted sound. Lubrication can for sure help that. I made a joke about doing the cotton mod on this, just like some of us did on the Gan 357, but that's the main difference. Performance, yeah, they're the same. I might use the MaxL for a while just to get used to that size again and see what it feels like and spend a lot more time with it. And I feel like that weight distribution is something that I could really enjoy and get into, and that could help and aid in that lighter turning, because once you get it moving, it wants to keep moving at that. This, once you get it moving, it doesn't keep that momentum as in the same way. That could be lubrication, that could be other factors such as the settings on there feel slightly different than the other ones. So it's not definitive that it's the weight distribution, and even the weight distribution is just how it feels to me. I was surprised that this was even lighter. A lot of things that can be just coincidental. There could be other factors at play. It could be all a placebo effect with the sound and what I'm used to with it. So nothing super definitive, but that's what it feels like to me. It feels like there's more weight on the outside. It's not actually as light as these two, but actually I'll put them in order of the beginning of the video. It's not actually as light as these two, but it feels lighter because of where that weight feels like it is. Is it actually like that? Maybe. I don't really have enough data. I guess I could measure and find the balance point of each of these pieces. That would be tricky. I might need to find a device to do that. So with all that said, what would I recommend? They're all good puzzles. What's the price of each one? These ones right now are $84.95. This one is $34.95? Well, $39. So these ones are $85. This one's less than half that. You don't get to swap out the magnets, but for half the price, that's definitely a worthy contender for the top GAN puzzle. This is a little bit after I made the Swift Block Super video, but the Swift Block Super is a modified V100 for only about $25. So if you're thinking about getting a GAN puzzle and you don't have $85 to spend or $40, Swift Block Super. If you've got the money to spare and you want the different swappable magnets and you want to have the latest one, go for it. Especially if you have larger hands. This is the only major 57mm puzzle out there, although the GAN 16 isn't too far behind because it is still over 56mm. And this one can feel quite small for some people. Either way, I will have links in the description for these puzzles. You can click on them. It does help support the channel, so if you decide to get one and it's after this video, come back, click through. Helps me out, doesn't add anything to you. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, keep following Speed Review for more news and reviews. Hi, Stuart.